In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your inner tie rod on your Kia Soul. It's located behind your front wheel. Using a 21mm socket, we're going to take off our wheel. And remove your wheel. We're going to mark our tie rod, our outer tie rod, to our nut and our inner tie rod. So when we put it on, for alignment purposes, it's where it belongs. We're going to remove our cotter pin using some wire cutters. Usually squeeze the two ends together. And then I pull it out the other way. You can dispose of that. Now we're going to use a 17mm socket, and we're going to remove that castle nut. After removing your castle nut, you're going to strike it right here. And that should set it free and let it drop. I'm going to put this temporarily back in for a second and just go a couple threads on so we can break free our jam nut. To do that, we're going to use a 24mm wrench, and we're going to break it free. Once you crack that free, you can release this again. And now we're going to count the amount of turns it goes. So when we put the new one on, we count how many turns it goes back on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 and a half turns. I'm going to write my number here. So I don't forget. Using a 24mm socket, you can spin off your nut. Or you could use a wrench, whatever's easiest. Our nut was stuck to our inner tie rod, so I heated it up to get it off. Still a little bit toasty, so I'm not going to touch it. Once you have that nut off, you're going to use a pair of needle nose pliers and take off this clamp. I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver and insert it into this clamp right here. And then twist and remove it. Now that you've opened up that clamp a little bit, you can get something bigger in there and continue to twist it off. After you've loosened it enough, remove the bellow. Now I'm using an inner tie rod tool. There's several different types out there. This is just one of them. Fits over there and locks in. And now we're going to take off our inner tie rod. All right. Take this with you. Put some thread locker on the end, put your washer on. Thread it in. Make sure you clean that area out before. Thread it in all the way. Use your tool to tighten it and torque it to 55 foot-pounds. Once you've torqued it, you can remove your tool. Make sure you have enough grease in here before putting your bellow on. Now we're going to take our jam nut off. Now I'm going to place my bellow over the inner tie rod. Push it on. You want to push it on until you can reach the rack in the back. Don't worry about this yet. We're going to put the wire tie to tighten it, and then we'll put another one on this side, on this ridge right here. Just make sure it's all the way on, and then you're going to get your zip tie and secure it to the rack. You can have a good shot of looking through where the subframe is. There isn't a whole lot of room, so I have one arm going through the wheel well and one going up in between the subframe. After you tighten that, you're going to cut the excess off. Put some silicone paste here. To put the bellow in the groove on the inner tie rod, sometimes it's easier to straighten the wheel first, and then you won't have to try to stretch it. If it looks suctioned, stick a screwdriver in here and let the air out. All right, so now we're in the groove. If your spring clamp has still got enough spring to it, you should reuse it. If it doesn't, you can use the provided zip tie. You can put a little anti-seize on your thread there before putting on your jam nut. And I'm just going to thread this up. Now I'm going to put on my outer tie rod. I marked it 15.5 turns when I took it off, so I'm going to do the same going in. So once I get my first turn in, I'm going to go from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now you can spin your jam nut down. Just get it close. We're going to put the tie rod in our knuckle first, and then we'll jam this down. Now we're going to put our end in the knuckle. Just gonna turn this stud a little bit if I need to. I use a socket to do that. Line it up. Push it in. Put your castle nut on. We're going to torque this to 24 foot-pounds. Once you get to 24, you're going to see if your hole lines up for your cotter pin. If it doesn't, you're going to go a little bit more until it does. Do not loosen it, only tighten it. Now we're going to put our cotter pin through. Make sure you have the longer end on the top. Pull it through. And I usually use my wire cutters to bend it up and over on the top. And then this one goes off to the side. Just like that. Now we're going to jam our nut. So just tighten it, holding the inner still as you do. All right, that's tight. Install your wheel. You're gonna start your lug nuts by hand. Once you get those started by hand, you're going to start at the lower one, walk the wheel on. And then tighten in a star-like pattern. Using a 21mm socket, I'm going to torque our wheels to 80 foot-pounds in a star-like pattern. Now you're going to want to take your vehicle down to your local alignment shop to get it aligned.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.